Again, welcome to the class. We are just discussing about this problem. BBr3 is a selective deproduction of OMIP, benzyl methyl ether. Phenyl methyl ethers. Okay, so when we have O-methyl group on benzene ring, BBr3 will selectively deprotect this. So we will get phenol and methanol. Okay, so phenol will be deprotected. Then when we use H2 and palladium and carbon, we can reduce this benzyl ether, right? Of course, the first functional group that will undergo reduction is the double bond, because double bond reduction hardly takes less than 5 minutes. So first double bond will undergo reduction, and then second this benzylic ether, because it is a benzyl alcohol, so the benzylic ether will undergo a reduction. So you write the products. I'm not going to give you the products. So this is all about heterogeneous catalysis. Just think that what is heterogeneous catalysis? It is a hydrogenation of a double bond or a triple bond with H2, palladium and carbon, or ranane nickel hydrogen, or platinum oxide. Okay, right. Then we will look at homogeneous catalysis, homogeneous hydrogenation reactions. Heterogeneous means organic compounds are under solvent, it is in liquid phase, metal is in solid phase, hydrogen is in gaseous phase. So these are three-phase heterogeneous catalyst, three-phase heterogeneous reactions. Whereas in homogeneous catalysis reactions, all of them will be in single phase. That means reagent, catalyst will also be in the liquid state. Okay, so we will see some examples for homogeneous hydrogenation reactions. There are three catalysts used in homogeneous hydrogenation reactions. First one is Wilkinson catalyst. Wilkinson's catalyst. What is Wilkinson's catalyst? Chloro, tris, because there are three such things: chloro, tris, triphenyl phosphine, because this is a triphenyl system, and phosphine, triphenyl phosphine, there is no space, rhodium 1. This is the nomenclature of Wilkinson's catalyst: chloro, tris, triphenyl phosphine, rhodium 1. And generally we used to say triphenyl phosphine rhodium chloride. Okay, but that is not the IUPAC nomenclature. Then some important points about this: Wilkinson's catalyst is orange red color solid, but it is soluble in organic solvents, because we are having a large content of organic, right? Triphenyl phosphine, so around 9 benzene rings, so it is we have most organic content, so it is soluble in organic solvents. So this is orange red color solid. Generally THF is used as solvent. THF is used as solvent. Then how do we prepare this? We can easily prepare this. Of course, it is commercially available, but at the same time we can prepare this very easily when we add triphenyl phosphine to rhodium 3 chloride. excess amount of triphenyl phosphine. Then this will undergo tris triphenyl phosphine rhodium 1 salt. So we will get Wilkinson's catalyst. Wilkinson's catalyst is soluble in organic solvent, so it is used in homogeneous catalysis. When we look at the catalyst, rhodium is the main metal. So hydrogenation takes place from rhodium. When we look at the rhodium, there are 3 triphenyl phosphine groups. That means rhodium is very sterically crowded system. So if we have 2 different double bonds, one is more sterically crowded, one is less sterically crowded, then we can differentiate these 2 alkene functional groups using Wilkinson's catalyst. H2 is gas. Okay, because rhodium triphenyl phosphine, because Wilkinson's catalyst is more sterically crowded, it will undergo, it will only reduce the less substituted double bond. So it is a terminal double bond, disubstituted. It is an internal double bond, and it is trisubstituted. So when we look at the stereochemical arrangements between these 2 double bonds, this is more sterically crowded, this is less sterically crowded. So only this double bond will undergo reduction, whereas this double bond will not undergo reduction. When I'm saying selectivity, when 2 different double bonds are there, then with the selective hydrogenation, with controlled amount of hydrogen gas, we can selectively differentiate these 2. But if you give high amount of hydrogen gas, then this double bond will also undergo reduction. Okay, don't think that more sterically crowded double bonds will not undergo reduction. It is not the case. With the controlled supply of hydrogen, we can separate more sterically crowded double bond and less sterically crowded double bond. But if we supply high amount of hydrogen, both the double bonds will undergo reduction. So we can say least substituted double bonds can be reduced selectively. And another important point, cis double bonds are hydrogenated, because these are all hydrogenation reactions, hydrogenated faster than trans double bonds. This can be easily explained why cis double bonds will undergo faster hydrogenation than trans double bonds with Wilkinson's catalyst. Again, it depends on sterical crowding. Cis double bonds will experience less sterical crowding compared to trans double bonds. Okay, where in the cis double bond, both the substituents will be on one side, other side it is sterically free. Whereas in the trans compound, both the substituents will be in opposite plane. So it is difficult for the catalyst to approach from any of the planes. Okay, so that is why cis double bonds are less sterically crowded compared to trans double bonds. So we can differentiate cis and trans alkenes using Wilkinson's catalyst. So I don't give much more examples for this because the reaction is same. So you can write any number of examples. I'll give the mechanism for this reduction. Wilkinson's catalyst it is having square planar structure and it is a 16 electron system. So when we look at 18 electron systems or 16 electron systems, Wilkinson's catalyst is a 16 electron system. When we add hydrogen, then one of the phosphine will be leaving and hydrogen will add to rhodium. Here it is oxidative addition. That means rhodium initially it is in +1 oxidation state. Now it will undergo oxidation, so the resultant molecule will be triphenylphosphine. Now one of the phosphine will be leaving, then we will add a hydrogen molecule. How we will add? We will break the hydrogen molecule. So it is oxidative addition. That means rhodium, which is in +1 oxidation state, now will be oxidized to +3. Okay, here it is +3, and it is an 18 electron system. Just give me a moment. This is wrong. Now the structure is here it is square planar. Here it is trigonal bipyramidal. It is trigonal bipyramidal. Then a double bond will be adsorbed or will be interacting with the rhodium. So it generates a pi complex. And the structure will be octahedral structure. Hydrogen, triphenylphosphine, and this side it is chlorine, and the sixth bond is satisfied with the alkene. So it is a pi complex, and in this case it is an 18 electron system. It is an 18 electron system. I think here also it is 16 electron system only. It is also 16 electron. In this case it is an 18 electron system. Okay, and the shape is octahedral. Then what happens? This double bond will undergo insertion, so that the pi complex will be converted to sigma complex. I think all these reactions are reversible. So now it will undergo insertion, so that the pi complex will be converted to sigma complex. Rhodium, triphenylphosphine, hydrogen is there, then chlorine, then one of the hydrogen will come and attach on one side of the alkene, then other side it will form a bond with rhodium. So we will have a bond like this, and we have hydrogen attached here. Okay, we will have hydrogen attached here. So this is a sigma complex. And again the shape is trigonal bipyramidal. Okay, look at the structure. It is a trigonal bipyramidal. So this is the alkene. One carbon in the alkene will be attached with the hydrogen. another carbon will form a bond with rhodium. So the pi complex with insertion, it converts to sigma complex. Then this undergoes reductive elimination. Reductive elimination. That means the rhodium, which is in +3 oxidation state, now will undergo reduction. So again it will be converted to +1 oxidation. So another hydrogen from rhodium, so it will be add to this carbon, and the rhodium carbon bond will also break down. So what is the product here? The product here will be an alkene. That means a double bond is completely reduced. Okay, then a rhodium, again it will be +1 oxidation state. It will be +1 oxidation state. Here it is +3 oxidation state. Here it is +1 oxidation state. Okay. Then again, when we add hydrogen, it again undergoes oxidative addition to generate this trigonal bipyramidal structure, and it is oxidation. So rhodium 1 will be converted to rhodium 3. Then pi bond will come and form a pi complex. So it again converted to octahedral geometry. Then the pi complex will undergo insertion to generate a sigma complex. Its sigma complex is again a trigonal bipyramidal shape. Then this sigma complex will undergo reductive elimination to generate this alkene plus rhodium 1. So it is rhodium +3 oxidation state, here rhodium +1 oxidation state. So this is the catalytic cycle. Okay, again and again this rhodium will undergo oxidative addition, reductive elimination, oxidative addition, reductive elimination, so that we don't need to use stoichiometric amount of the Wilkinson's catalyst. Okay, we just need a catalytic amount, that means 5 mole percent or 1 mole percent, that is enough. అంబిక ఒక స్క్రీన్ షాట్ పెట్టమ్మా, క్లారిటీ ఎలా ఉందో చూస్తాను. Yeah, I think clarity is okay. Please take a snapshot. I'm going to change this. Right. So we don't need to learn much examples for Wilkinson's catalyst. So we will move to Vaska's catalyst. Next, example for homogeneous catalysis or homogeneous hydrogenation is Vaska's catalyst. What is Vaska's catalyst? It is a rhodium catalyst. Sorry, it is an iridium catalyst, COCl. So it is chlorocarbonyl bis triphenyl phosphine iridium 1. The nomenclature is chlorocarbonyl bis triphenyl phosphine iridium 1. When we look at the structure, it is a square planar complex, and again it is a 16 electron system. So this is triphenyl phosphine and carbonyl, carbon monoxide. So when we arrange them in the order, first carbonyl will come, right? So carbonyl, chloro, bis triphenyl phosphine iridium 1. When we add hydrogen, iridium, which is in +1 oxidation state, so it is a 16 electron system and square planar complex, square planar shape. It will undergo oxidative addition to generate octahedral geometry. So this is an 18 pi electron system, 18 electron system. It is octahedral geometry, and iridium is in +3 oxidation state. Iridium is in +3 oxidation state. So the reaction or reactivity of iridium catalyst is similar to rhodium catalyst. Okay, so I am not going to give you any examples here. So Vaska's catalyst is carbonyl, chloro, bis triphenyl phosphine iridium 1. It is a square planar complex with 16 electrons around the it comes under the examples of 16 electron systems. So when we add hydrogen to iridium, it will undergo oxidative addition. So iridium from +1 state to it will oxidize to +3 state. Okay, the remaining chemistry is similar. Next example for homogeneous hydrogenations is Crabtree catalyst. Next example is Crabtree catalyst. What is Crabtree catalyst? It is again an iridium complex. COD, cyclohexyl, tricyclohexyl phosphine, pyridine, and it is +1 oxidation state. Counter ion will be PF6 minus. Okay. When we look at the structure, we can say it is similar to Crabtree. Cyclohexyl, tricyclohexyl phosphine, and other side we have pyridine. This is pyridine, and we have cyclooctadiene. Cyclooctadiene, COD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-membered ring. So octadiene. It is cyclooctadiene. Then these two will form a bond. Okay. So this is how. Again, it is +1 iridium +1 oxidation state. It is again a 16 electron system, and its shape is square planar. So of course counter ion is PF6 minus. The structure looks like a crab. It is called Crabtree catalyst. This is soluble in organic solvents because of the more organic content. So it can we can use it in homogeneous catalysis. Then the speciality of this is the metal which is more electropositive will bind to any coordinating element if present in the molecule, like oxygen or nitrogen or sulfur. Okay, all of them will have lone pair of electrons. If they are present in the molecule, then iridium will coordinate to them. Then hydrogen transfer takes place from iridium. So we can simply say, if a coordinating atom like alcohol or carbonyl or amide or some sulfur compound is there, then hydrogen transfer takes place from the same side of coordinating atom. So in this case, hydrogen is above the plane, so iridium coordinates to oxygen, and then it transfer hydrogens from above the plane. So this is not a chiral center, so we don't need to represent here, but this is a chiral center. So hydrogen will be in the above the plane, then methyl group will be obviously in the below the plane, because if one is above the plane, another one will be below the plane. So hydrogen transfer takes place from the same side of hydroxyl group. Methyl group will be below the plane. So I'll write the same thing. Iridium coordinates with a coordinating atom electron rich, I can say rich donating. So these are all examples. Okay. So iridium coordinates with an electron donating group. So for example, in this case OH. So OH group directs the incoming hydrogens. You answer these two problems. Okay. In this case, previously when we have reduced a similar molecule with hydrogen and palladium carbon, so we have written chair conformations, and then from that the possible addition was discussed. But here we don't need to write any conformations for this, because the OH group directs the incoming hydrogen. So it coordinates with the catalyst. So catalyst will be in the same plane as OH. So hydrogen transfer will be from the same plane as OH. So we don't need to write any conformation in this case. Okay. Similarly, here also, the catalyst may coordinate with oxygen or nitrogen. Both are electron donating only. So catalyst will bind to any one of these or both of them. Then hydrogen transfer takes place from this plane. Here there is no selectivity. I am not discussing any selectivity here. So please reduce all the double bonds. And wherever stereochemical center is there, please represent only those stereochemical centers with above the plane and below the plane bonds. Okay. You answer them in our group. Okay. I will not give the answers here.